but let's bring some people to the stage. I'm going to start with Sean. And Sean, we've got 3 minutes for each demo. So talk to us, please, about something cool that you've been up to. How are you, Sean?
Hey, I'm doing great. Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you good. Yes, you go for it.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, no, I'm doing awesome.
Hold on.
Like you, I'm buzzing. That presentation was amazing. So many cool ideas, super inspired. Well, hey, everybody. Something that I thought I could share really quick in 3 minutes, not necessarily a coding strategy, but something that I found really helpful in my classroom is this pretty cool tool that is called LiceCap. Now, I have no idea where that name comes from, and it's a weird name. I will admit that. But what it does is it just lets you really quickly share, record your screen, but rather than just like a regular, like taking a picture, it records a GIF, and it's super lightweight. You just like open it up. It's free to download. And I really like this for when I'm giving instructions or when I'm trying to show students, right? If there's something that requires more than 2 or 3 clicks for them to do something, or maybe it's like dragging a code block onto the screen and doing something. The demo and doing it live in front of my students is, of course, great. But being able to record that super fast, drop it into a slide deck, and that way they just see it looping and they can kind of follow along. It saves just a ton of time, instead of taking all that, like we've all done, right? You take a screenshot, okay, click here. You take another screenshot, click here. You put the arrows on there. All that just takes some time. It can be helpful, but this is just a super easy tool to use that allows you to do that really quickly. So yeah, I found that helpful. It was one that when we were in asynchronous, when we were doing all the virtual learning, it was crazy helpful. But I still find that it helps out in my classes, just giving students that quick visual for, hey, here are the steps that I need to do in some multi-step process.
That's an exciting tool. I'm going to be bookmarking that straight away. Do you want to give us a quick sell on your session tomorrow as well, Sean, before I let you go?
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely. So we'd love to have people come by. We're doing a Replit escape room, and it's really thinking about agile project management as well, which is just a project management framework that would help you getting students to collaborate on a larger scale project, while still giving them a lot of freedom to choose the parts of the project that they want to work on. It gives them a little bit of a structure for keeping one another accountable, for keeping you as the teacher able to see what's going on, where each of your different teams are at the moment. So we'll talk a little bit about agile project management, and we'll also kind of engage in this fun coding escape room. And the additional part is all of the puzzles that we'll be solving are coming from introductory classes that you can find on the Replit Curriculum Hub. So if you haven't had a chance to dive into all of those courses, we've got at least 4 of the different curriculum that are there that you'll be able to engage in and get a taste of as you're thinking about how you might use it for next year.
Brilliant. Thank you, Sean. We're looking forward to tomorrow. Thank you very much. Right, up next, we'll go for Cody. Hi, Cody.
Hey, how's it going? Hi.
Going good. Going good. Thanks for joining in, and please take you 3 minutes to demo whatever you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. So I'm Cody. I'm getting a master's in computer science, and while I do that, I work on Bitcoin stuff and teach Bitcoin classes. And recently started teaching with Nifty Nye, who's one of the Lightning core developers and we teach Bitcoin protocol development stuff. And so one of the things that we've started using Replit for is that one of the big problems with Bitcoin, like teaching it, is that it's kind of like annoying to like get people to spin up nodes and like basically have to understand a bunch about Linux in order to start doing it. But with Replit, something that I figured out is that because Replit moved over to the Nix backend, it becomes incredibly easy to set up a node. And because the reason why is because there's this big Nix project within Bitcoin of like taking all of these awesome Bitcoin tools, like how to set up a node, how to run Lightning, like all sorts of stuff like that, and port it over to Nix. And so you can basically run any one of these Nix packages within Replit. And so what I use Replit for is building out curriculum of basically each one of these tools, just adding a bunch of kind of like walkthroughs of like how to do it, that kind of thing. So like one of the ones we did was a tour of core Lightning, and Lightning is a way to like instantly send Bitcoin transactions back and forth between people. And so Just like here, for example, if you fork out the REPL, then it kind of walks you through how to like set up the node, all that kind of stuff, right? And so like literally this is just like a fresh REPL. Like I really didn't do any installs besides just like cloning down a repo for this one. And just if I switch over to the shell, Bitcoin d-reg test. I just started a reg test node. And so just within this reg testing environment, like I control the blockchain. I can do whatever I want with it. I can pass Bitcoin around between myself and others. And like one of the things I was thinking about doing for the curriculum challenge thing that Replic's doing is setting up like a Signet environment so that a teacher can run their own Bitcoin blockchain, and then all the students can connect to it and they can like send Bitcoin to each other, that kind of stuff as they learn about it. So yeah, that's the stuff that I've been working on.
Cody, thank you so much for that. I'm excited as well that you're interested in joining the curriculum jam. That's going to be on, we'll start submissions for that on Friday, and the submissions will go for a week. And remember, that's just one project, one sample to get it started, and a little video just to tell us what you do if you turn it into an entire thing. So I look forward to seeing that. Thank you very much for joining in.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Up next, we'll go for Emily. Hello.
Hi.
Would you like to go for your 3 minutes? Tell us what you've been up to and what you've been interested in recently.
Well, what I've been up to is that I've made a robo club on my school for the first years and second years and third years to make them, enthusiastic about the CS environment. So what we did was we bought this Vex Robots, and it's really cool because you can actually program them in multiple languages, including the Blockly, but also the C++ and Python. So it's really useful to use it as a step up, but also for the higher grades. And they can really build up their own computers. And I was hoping to actually show how that looks like. So yeah, it was really popular, and the idea was that they had to make these robots, and we had these sensors and everything, and we made a circle on the ground, and they had to do what I call sumo worsteling. So they had to get each other out of the circle by programming them as an artificial intelligence kind of thing. It was really cool, and how you put the robots in the circle and then press play and see how the robots interact with each other. So that was really cool to see. And we also programmed drones to fly around in the classroom, and I made this whole practice course that they have to fly through. And our school actually joined up on a drone competition here in the Netherlands, and we won as the Robo Club.
Oh, so wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was really amazing. So that was kind of cool because that actually got us even better drones as a prize. So yeah, that was a really fun to do with the whole classrooms. So that's what I wanted to tell you about the Robo Club and the Vex IQ, because it's a really cool robot to work with. I find it better than the Mindstorm Lego, even though that one is more popular.
It's great to know these physical computing things are always exciting because it's an investment of cash, isn't it? It's an investment of capital, but the interaction from it is great. I remember back in my university days, we used to do a thing called Robo Code, maybe, and it was just virtual robots fighting. So I can imagine the in-person sumo wrestling must be amazing.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And yes, RoboCode is something I've used in the 4th grade. So Vex is in the lower grades, and then I also used RoboCode 1, which is also awesome to use the JavaScript to have the. And I actually had a whole competition at the end of the period. So everybody had made this robot, and we had chips and snacks, and we had this whole competition. And everybody was cheering each other on. Yeah, it was quite cool.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Really appreciate your time. Thank you. Okay, up next is David Sutton. Hi, David. How are you? Oh, you're muted.
Muted. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you beautifully. What would you like to tell us about?
Right. I was just going to share a top tip about automated testing, because so I'm getting a lot of echo here.
You're good this end, don't worry.
In Replit, obviously, we've got I/O tests and unit tests, and the sort of default way of thinking would be to use I/O tests where you've got a program that produces output and you want to check the output, and unit tests where maybe you've asked the students to write a function and you want to check the return value. And there is a virtue in mixing this up, because you can use unit tests to check output, and you can also use IO tests to test the return values and state left by functions. And you can use unit tests to perform simple checks of program structure and style. So if I just briefly share my screen to illustrate. Okay. So if you want to use a unit test to check the output of a program, all you need to do is add a little bit of code like this. This is in Python, but you could do the same trick in any other language. So I've got a little function that runs the student's program.
Sorry, David, we can't see your screen. Can you make sure it's shared with us?
String specified as a parameter to the function, and then captures the output and returns it as a return value. So you can then do a unit test on that return value. So that gives you greater flexibility than you have with input-output tests. You could do this the other way round. So, for example, if you were working in a language where you only had IO tests and you want to simulate a unit test where you just write a bit of code that runs the function you're trying to test and produces output depending on the return value and state left by that function. You can also use the unit tests for simple checks of programming style structure. So, for example, I'm a bit of a martinet about the use of break and continue in programming. I don't allow my students to use it. And if I want to enforce that, I can. Sorry, am I still sharing? No, I'm not.
Sorry, Ian. We haven't had your, sorry, David. We haven't had your screen shared at all.
I can write a little unit test that opens the student's program, reads it, checks for these words that I consider to be obscene words, and returns a result based on their presence. So okay, I'm kind of hoping everyone could hear that.
I can hear you, David. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. It's just I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah. No, don't worry. We didn't have your screen up, unfortunately. Would you be able to share a link or something in the chat so we can have a look at what you were showing us? Is that okay?
I think I'd have to restructure it a bit.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, don't worry then. Or maybe as a quick screenshot or something would be lovely. But take your time. Thank you very much for talking us through it. I mean, unit testing is one of those things that's so flexible, but you need to take the time to learn it properly to get the most out of it, don't you? So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you, David. Right. Okay. Next person, Ingrid, I'm going to come to you. You've been waiting for a while. Hello. Can you hear me, Ingrid? Well, we'll move on to somebody else while hopefully Ingrid can get connected. And I can see Ket. Hi.
Hello.
Looked a bit surprised to be brought on then.
Yeah, wait, I did not know that I was going to be brought on.
Maybe I need some sort of like pause or announcement beforehand. But please do talk to us through the cool thing that you've been up to or what you want to talk to us about. That'd be brilliant.
Oh, I was just here to listen. Yeah. Oh, I misunderstood. But I mean, I could talk about what I'm here for, I guess.
Oh yeah. Go on. Tell us what you're here for.
Yeah, no, it's I'm here because I don't know. I'm very interested in programming, right? And I love to teach. And I have two younger brothers, and I've recently been trying to teach them like programming through Python with my younger sibling. And I don't know, it's been very interesting to hear so far all these different like I don't know, like with the robots, and I don't know, using Replit as a way to organize groups. I don't know, to work cooperatively on a piece of code. So far it's been really a blast to hear, and I don't know, it's giving so many ideas on how to like make, I don't know, like get students interested. So while I don't have anything that I'm 100% like working on, just hearing it all has been great. So thank you so much.
No, that's great. It's nice to hear what people are using and doing practically, and that's really exciting of you to try and teach that with your younger brothers. Good luck. I'm sure they'll love it, though. Thank you very much. Right, I'm going to jump to somebody that I've seen in the chat who, when I talked to her behind the scenes, got me so excited about teaching again. It's unbelievable. I'm going to bring Gabby on from Mindjoy. Hi, Gabby.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I've been talking about you non-stop since we had our conversation because you really got me all enthused and excited, but I didn't have anywhere to go with it because it was the evening.
Well,
so
no pressure.
No pressure, but you know, there's a little bit of pressure. What do you want to talk to us about?
Cool. I just thought I would show you some really exciting things that we've been exploring in introducing young people to coding with AI, specifically making projects powered by GPT-3. And I just thought I'd show you some oh, the share screen is a little bit funny. I wonder why. Just give
right
me
now, there should be a bit of space.
Yeah,
just room.
Sorry about that. Okay. This should work now, I'm hoping.
Yep, I've got it, and it's on the screen for you now. Oh, got 1 million copies of you.
Oh, wow. That is wild. I am not sure why that's happening. Let me try that one more time. But basically what we've done is we've created an environment where we can connect to GPT-3 and create really like fun projects geared at sort of inspiring young people to start thinking about how you can use an NLP model to do specific tasks for you and what that means through hands-on experiences. So things we've looked at are like hacking homework, using GPT-3 to hack your homework and write your essays for you. We've done other really fun things like looking at can you create a sort of crazy recipe maker or like a recipe machine and all kinds of sort of bots that you could build with GPT-3 to explore the idea of models and completion. And what I was going to show you, if I can just get it up, I was going to ask everyone if they wanted to, I'm going to try one last time. I think I've got it now. Is that working?
Oh, it looks good, Gabby. Let's have a look.
All right, great.
That's
so yeah, that's the one I'm after. So I don't know if anyone wants to put in the chat. So we structure our projects in really fun ways. So we've got like your main pie, where you've got where you will do your coding. We use READMEs, which is something I'll be showing tomorrow in a workshop. We use READMEs in really fun ways, and we've started sort of taking inspiration from things like Minecraft that really get the young people excited. So for example, here, show and tell, this is a recipe or DIY maker. We've got the sort of, here's just some fun things. But if you wanted to, I don't know if we can, David, you just let me know. But if anyone wants to try and suggest some things we can make with this crazy recipe maker, what ingredients would we have or people could use around the house? I don't know if people would like to give like literally any ingredients we can put into the recipe maker and see what recipes we get out.
Should we put it in the chat? We might have to wait a few seconds because there's a bit of a delay between us and the live. But yeah, certainly go for it.
So while people put things in the chat, I'll just put I'll put our code snippet in here. And just make sure we're ready to work with our our little program. So let me know what we're cooking with today.
Rhubarb, pineapple, and spring onions, I'm seeing popping up, Gabby.
Oh my word. Rhubarb, pineapples.
Apparently kids love broccoli as well. I've heard that. I've heard that.
And rhubarb. What else?
Rhubarb and custard a worldwide dish, or is that just us in the UK?
Custard's a good one. What else? Anything else? Something crazy?
Gummy worms we've got from Greg.
Okay, I'll offer some. What about anything else?
Sean's very keen on pepperoni. Do we need any more?
No, I think that's good. Would anyone like to, before I run, I'm wondering if there are any predictions on what like crazy recipe ideas we might get. Like, I wonder who can be faster. Someone in the audience with like coming up with a recipe idea with these ingredients, or is GPT-3 going to be faster? Shall we see? Let me know when I can hit the run button.
I feel like I should have had timers on the screen for doing this.
Pepperoni already. All right.
Mia thinks it might be a chicken sandwich.
Pineapple rhubarb custard pie, and here is a whole recipe. We can actually see our recipe's been cut off because we've only let a certain number of tokens run, but it's got it's used a lot of ingredients and auto-completed. So we could even maybe run it again. Let's see if we ran the same program again and we changed the length of the tokens. So we hopefully get a longer, more complete recipe. You can see what completion we have. There we go. All right, now we've got custard pie with worms, getting better. And there's a recipe. And so this gives us a tangible output, and we can then start working and exploring what completion means and how the predictions work. But we have a really fun, engaging little recipe maker to play with this. And then we can think of like, actually, well, how would we model and adapt our prompt so that it actually gives us more realistic, useful recipes and work towards realistic outputs. Yeah, that's me. I won't take up too much time.
That's all right. Do you want to give us a quick sell on the sessions tomorrow? Because I know you guys are doing 2.
Yes, sure. So we will, like, if you thought that project is set up in a really different way to what other coding projects look like usually, or maybe you've never seen a README look like that, I would say you should definitely join our Making Creative READMEs session, where we'll be exploring how to think of kind of in the same way as other David was encouraging young people to look at projects, but basically going, okay, well, how do we use READMEs in a way to inspire young people through READMEs that are creative and enticing and capture their imaginations? And then our other session will be looking at how do we use coaching principles to develop like a coder's mindset in the classroom.
Fantastic. Thank you. We look forward to it.
Awesome.
See you tomorrow. Okay, before I go on to our next speaker, I just want to pop this up. We've got some space backstage now. I know we didn't have any room when a few of you were trying earlier on, so I've reposted the link. If you are still keen to do a demo, please join us in the backstage area and I will bring you on. But unlike some of our speakers, please be aware that I will click on you and bring you up to the stage quite quickly. So don't be too shocked. Right. I'm assuming this is a username because I'm struggling to pronounce it, but I'll bring you guys on. And I know you want to talk about something interesting. So go on, tell us all about what you're gonna show us.
Oh, well, we're thinking that well, basically we have a
a company name
Line web hosting.
Yeah, line web hosting. It's where you can get cheap domains, cheap websites, and free Discord bots.
And cool, that's something you built yourself, is it?
You're cracking. I can't actually hear you that much. Can I go share my screen? Can we go share the screen?
Please, go on.
Okay.
I'm still learning how to make a website with
Yeah,
my best friend here.
Well, no, that's cool. That's cool because it's stuff you've built yourself. So show us this exciting thing that you've built.
Oh, yeah, can you
He's
see?
the one who how do I say this? He's the one who talked to me about this
EdFest.
Yeah, EdFest thing. So I decided to join.
Okay, can you
Because I was really curious about it.
Can you see?
We can see. We can see. Talk to us about how you built it and what it is.
Oh,
I'm busy helping him make it.
Yeah,
with this coding thing.
yeah.
So
You're
it's
doing it all in
going really
Replit,
well.
I see.
it's not a.
Yeah, it looks really good.
masterpiece. We're still working on it. I
Yeah.
can actually go show you the website. It's still loading right here. Yeah, so basically you can sign up, you can get your futures, your about, your plans if you want to like buy. I do also have to because the email doesn't work yet. because-
Technically, I'm supposed to tell him that he must make the deal
the
bit about. I could say a bit more.
Well, I'll tell you
Yeah,
what,
more,
did you? Is this something? Have you taught yourself this? Is this something your teachers helped you build? What?
oh no,
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 we don't
oh,
have
of course
teachers.
No, I actually started at the age of 5. I started at the age of 5. I started at the age of 6 of starting to build my first ever Discord bot.
Website.
It was kind of a Discord bot actually. It was kind of lame, but over the years I've actually succeeded in so
Everything we
much better.
start with is a little bit lame, but the point is we learn and we do cool stuff with it. Guys, that is fantastic. Thank you for showing us this. And I think nearly all of us in the audience are teachers. It's lovely to see something that young people have come up with by themselves, and especially such an entrepreneurial activity. So well done. Do you want to give a shout out to your website again before we let you go?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd like to shout out to my best friend and the co-founder of Line Web Hosting. We do also have many other projects like Diamond Studios. Let me check. Diamond Studios.
But we
but
did a
many other
very
pro-
good
yeah.
job with this.
And hope we're gonna see you tomorrow.
We're definitely going to see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, do come have a look.
For the world.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you very much. I think in the comments it's been the best demo so far. So thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you so much, David.
Well, that was good, wasn't it? A nice entrepreneurial demo from a bunch of eager and excited learners. I'm going to bring our very own Ian Simpson up next, who's just come back from a rather relaxing time. Hello, Ian. How are you? Oh, he's quiet. He's quiet. Can he hear me? Has he got his headphones plugged in? This is all the thing. Still silent, Ian. I'm sorry. Shall I come back to you? Or nice entrepreneurial demo.
Sorry, 2 seconds. Just have to
no worries.
unmute
No worries.
the other side. There we go.
What do you want to talk to us about?
So hi, thank you for this. I don't know if I can follow that last talk. I thought it was amazing. I wish I could code like that when I was 6. They were 6, weren't they?
Or at least they started when they were 6.
They started when they were 6. That was fantastic. I just want to share a very quick tip, much like the sort of first speaker. I want to talk about a site that I use quite a lot in my teaching, which is called Capwing. It doesn't let you create, well, maybe it does let you create GIFs, but the reason I wanted to share this one is because it allows you to add subtitles. And so, obviously, you might tell from my accent, I'm from Scotland. At the moment, we've got quite a lot of refugees coming across from Ukraine. And a lot of our teaching in computing science is video based. So to help students who are coming across, not just from Ukraine, but from anywhere with English as a second language, although sometimes their English is fantastic. We use Capwing to add subtitles so that they don't have that barrier from maybe the accent. Like my accent can be quite strong sometimes, but they can also, they can engage with the videos that we create very quickly by just adding the video from YouTube into Capwing, and then Capwing can auto-generate subtitles if you speak quite slowly in Scottish, or you can manually type in the subtitles and then save it out as either a separate subtitle file, or you can recreate the video and it sort of displays it at the bottom of the screen for the students, which I think is a fantastic little tool and is totally free. So I want to share that. Nothing to do with Replit, but it's something that I use to help students access Replit.
That's brilliant, Ian. Thank you very much for that. Funny enough, I was trying to put subtitles on something the other day, so that I'll be straight on that as well. It's great. And please, I'm Welsh, so I understand the strong accent thing. So it's important that we have clarification for people, isn't it? Sometimes that's great. Thank you so much, Ian. And Ian's got a talk tomorrow as well. Do you want to do a quick sell on your talk, Ian?
Yeah, I'm talking about the wonderful world of assessment tomorrow, which is probably the last thing you want to come and see, but please do, because it's about using Replit for assessments, and it's about how we can allow the students to not only build up their understanding of coding through the Replit environment, but then use it in their assessment in a sort of valid way, which we can robustly sort of administer and moderate. 30 minutes of fun.
He's underselling it a little bit. It's going to be absolutely amazing because it's using Replit for proper assessment. So, we've all got to assess our students. I think this is a nice opportunity to do it in a more modern way than some of our exam boards might have, Ian. I'm sure you'll agree, being a fellow Brit.
To be honest, I think that maybe if we just ran Kajams every year, that would be fine.
Yeah, we'll mark that. That would be much more. I'd certainly have more fun marking exams doing that. I can tell you that. Thanks, Ian. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, I'm going to bring. Excuse me if my pronunciation's a bit bad, but Sutton next. Hello, another young person.
Yeah.
How are you? What would you like to talk to us about?
So I made a project about a pattern in another website called Codesters. It's about Python. So I'm going to share it now.
Go on, show us what you got.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
We've got it up now. Yes, you go for it. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so first I've taken an X and Y coordinate, a permanent X and Y coordinate, and then taken a loop in which there are many triangles which make this pattern, the cyan and blue pattern, then coral and red pattern. Then for the steps design, if you see, it's gradually coming up. So I've taken Y plus equal to 20, means it increases the Y for every triangle and for every rectangle, and then makes it up or down, sideways, or anyhow from the code which you have written here, X and Y.
So I suppose what I've got to ask you is this something that you were taught, or is this something that you built yourself?
My mother is currently teaching me Python, so there's some courses here. So there's some courses here, and I made it from learning the courses, and I started making some projects of my own.
Fantastic. Well, that explains why you're attending EdFest. But this is a brilliant piece of work. It's a beautiful little pattern as well. I like that a lot. Well, thank you very, very much. We appreciate seeing what you've built, and I hope you enjoy EdFest over the next couple of days. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, last up and last waiting behind the wings is Paul. Paul, I'm going to bring you up in a second. But if you signed up for a presentation and you still haven't gone, please do follow that link that we've got pinned in the chat and join us backstage so we can add you in. we can go for another half an hour or so. So we've got plenty of room for you all. And I'm sure you'll agree that, to me, this is the most exciting bit because we get actual tips from teachers that are in the classroom. Paul, I'm bringing you up next. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. Let's just see if I can get my screen share to work.
Go on, I'll pop it in for you and tell us what you want to talk about.
Okay, so I've been teaching computing for a long time, and I teach databases. I used to use large database systems commercially, but I've been delighted with Sqlite, and Sqlite's fantastic, small SQL-based database product, which works on almost anything. And when I found you could use it in Replit, I was really interested in, let's get it running full screen. Yeah, I was really interested in getting the database so that it had a friendly user interface for pupils. So can you see my screen there okay?
Yes, it's fantastic.
So I'm currently using Replit as a third party. I've gone to my public websites, and now I'm launching, if I can see. Yeah, launching the database. It's a Sqlite Database browser. So I built this small tool to make using databases to make demonstrating databases for pupils much easier. So what the pupils can see when they start off with is a simple web page.
Well, I have to stop you because I think you might be reading my mind. I've been literally thinking I would love to have something like this for the last couple of weeks. So thank you very much. I'll let you go back to it, but thank you.
Okay. The live stream's a few seconds behind the display, so I was being distracted by this screen there. So I have a collection of Sqlite databases in a REPL. And what I wanted to do was create a much easier user interface for the pupils to explore. So whenever you follow this link to say, look at the SQL query panel, it will take the database, it reads the database definition, and then it creates a sort of schematic of, in this case, two main tables, using a convention for underline for primary keys and asterisk foreign keys. And it's got a very simple interface for letting you do queries. So if I do a select start from seller here, then you get immediate feedback. The SQL query panel supports queries. It also supports data manipulation commands. You can even do data definition commands as well. So create tables. If I go back to my list of databases, if we get a slightly more complicated one.
I've got to stop, and while we're at that load, this is amazing. This is, I think you brought me everything I wanted for Christmas and more here. Thank you very much for this. Is this something you can share with us at all, Paul? Or is
yes, I mean, I wrote this entirely in it's a mixture of Python CGI, JavaScript, HTML. It's available on my public website. I'm Paul@Dunedin, and if you just go for the
I'm going to pop the link in the chat when you finish. We'll
Sqlite browser version 3. And so I tried to put in as many things to make it usable and friendly. Like you can just quickly click on the table and you get the contents of that table. You can do freehand SQL queries in the query panel. You can view the formal table views and definitions. You can upload a new Sqlite database so that you just choose a file, pick a file from your desktop PC and upload it. And as soon as it's uploaded, it's in the REPL. There's a sample database built in, which is just called sample. And you can edit the code in the REPL so that your sample is whatever you want it to be. One of the nice things about it, though, which I quite like for using with pupils, is that the web address that I'm showing here can be shared with the pupils, and what they've got is a multi-user database, so they can start working on queries, and they all know they're working on the same database. So when you're exploring things like insert commands and update commands, you can have groups of pupils working on the same database, knowing that their inserts and updates are affecting the shared database. It doesn't need anything complicated like PHP, MySQL. I say it's entirely Python and SQLite.
Oh, this is amazing. Thank you so much for this. This is a beautiful thing. I saw that Ian was saying in the chat that you shared it with one of his colleagues last year, and it removed the need for Microsoft Access to be used. Now, certainly in the UK, that's a big limitation for us with a lot of our courses, is that the visual sort of building in Microsoft Access just lowers that barrier to entry. But it seems like you've usurped the giant corporation Microsoft. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And if you want to put the link to your website in the chat, we'll make sure that's shared with everyone so we can all take a look at it. But thank you very much.
I'll do that. I'll add that straight away. Thanks. Bye now.
Thanks, Paul. Great. Okay, we've got room for one more demo before we do the closing comments. And I think I've got Michael up next. I'll pop in the screen now, Michael. I'm going to give people a bit of a warning now so they don't all look horrified. Hi, Michael. How are you?
What was the warning about?
Well,
oh, I have the warning. I got it.
Okay. Yeah. Everyone else I've been asking has sort of gone when they've been added to the stream. So I wanted to give everyone a little bit more of a warning. I'll build that into my repertoire, or just clicking people and watching their shocked faces.
That totally makes sense.
What
Okay.
would you like to talk to us about?
I'm going to Firefox here. I don't even see that, so I don't entire screen. Okay, so I'm going to share about REPL's cover page feature, which you recently renamed. I think it used to be the Spotlight feature, but if I have just a project open right here, if you click the name of any project, this little button right here, cover page, will give you a shareable link that students can use to share with each other. And
Sorry to stop you a minute, Michael. I think we've got the wrong browser shared. We've got us on the screen.
Okay.
Do you want to go and try that again? Sorry.
Tell you what, let me try one more time. Share screen. I thought I did entire screen there. Entire screen and allow. And then maybe there's a delay. Do you see processing sandbox up?
No, unfortunately, just this window is all we see.
Okay, well, I'm just going to stop that and describe it. So on any project,
talk about it.
If you click the name of the project, you'll see a button that says cover page. I think it used to be called Spotlight. And that's, it brings open an output with the code beside it that students can see and share with each other. And I make a lot of use out of that in my classroom because I'm going to tell you a little bit of story real quick. I used to be an English teacher. I started out 10 years in the English classroom. I always had a coding side that I later switched over. But in the English classroom, I found that my students really didn't care about their writing projects if they were not creative and if they didn't have a sense of audience. So we kept writing portfolios, and at the end of the year, most students didn't even care about their writing portfolio. They would walk out of the classroom and not take it with them. And I had to look and see, well, what was I requiring them to write? And it was just literary analysis that was only submitted to me as the teacher, and then I would give comments, and that was it. And so I started changing my practice as an English teacher, which was to build in more audience and to give students more creativity in their projects. And I love what David was talking about CS50, about giving students real world problems to solve. Something I do in my classroom, a lot of projects like that. But then after that, to have a more creative opportunity to say, okay, so you've learned these skills, and how would you recombine them into something else? How would you make like a game or some expressive like trivia quiz or something about you, and then you share that back to us? And there's really three key modes that we use that the cover page feature to share. One is most of us, I think, have an online learning environment, like a learning management system. Ours is Canvas in our school district. And so I'll post, after we do a creative project, I'll post a discussion where every student can post the cover page link to their project. And then we spend 10 minutes right in class trying each other's projects and then providing feedback about them. Usually positive feedback. Tell the output, like, did you win? What was your score? What did it tell you? I also keep a showcase of some of the best creative work I get from students, and I keep that like on its own page in my course, my online course, so students can see what I've selected as the best projects. So it almost raises the bar, like students have this desire to try to get their project into the showcase. And then I have an additional showcase of best of the year that I carry year to year. So students, I will often show the previous year's projects, and they'll know, okay, so they almost have this sense of legacy, like, oh, Mr. Hobson chose my project, or might choose my project to demonstrate to next year's students. Audience is important. There's not a lot of things we ever do in life that does not have some sort of audience. And if these projects are only turned into the teacher, right, the kids feel that they're artificial in some way. But when they know that they're being shared with other people, they often try harder, and they'll reach for those additional features, those bonus features that they have to learn about. So I just wanted to encourage you to make use of that and build audience into your classroom.
Thanks, Michael. That was brilliant. The new cover page is such an exciting place to do that sort of thing. And yeah, those portfolios are hard to build, aren't they? They do say that a lot of interviews nowadays are just showing people your GitHub profile. So why not show them your Replit profile instead?
Yeah, there you go.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And with that, that's the last demo done. So fantastic. And I'm sure you'll agree that the exciting part about dinners and demos for me is not so much the dinners, but mainly the demos. And it's nice to hear all these fantastic things we've got.